President Trump brought that back, praising Allah one more time. Okay. I think, is this the third time? I think this is the third time we're praising Allah. So that's back. So, okay. So let's actually go through the video statements first. President Trump said, "We hit them. We hit them hard yesterday, and we're going to hit them again hard today." So, guys, just somebody keep an eye on the news, because at some point we might gonna go full on boom boom. So somebody just let us know in the chat as soon as that happens, if that happens, right? So then he continues, and we'll see what happens with the deal. We were really close to a deal, but they keep tapping us along. They keep playing us for suckers, because you know what? They dealt with some very stupid presidents. Okay. So the significance of this is not just the fact that apparently we're going to have some kinetic military operations later today. It's also because Trump is saying they keep playing us for suckers, and confirming that he's not going to let that happen, like, I don't know, President Obama or Biden. Which means that this whole game of like aggressive ceasefire, this fiery ceasefire, the ceasefire war that we're in, it's not going to last forever. And President Trump knows what the Islamic Republic is doing. And it's just not going to continue going like this forever. Hopefully, it means that, right? Another quote from the video that came out of the White House from President Trump. Let me see if my audio is, everything is okay on the YouTube. Yeah, okay. So here's another one. Did you know we've been taking out millions of barrels of oil? Nobody knows it. You know who doesn't know about it? Iran, until right now. We took out the other night. We took out the other night 22 ships. So, guys, if you actually look at the full video of this, if you look at the full context, President Trump seemed to have been very excited to tell this. Apparently, this was secret. Apparently, they have been doing this for a while. And apparently, President Trump was just itching to share to the whole world that they have been doing this. And he wasn't allowed to until just now. So, this is the explanation for why the oil prices are so low. Like, we don't have $200, $300 per barrel oil prices right now. Apparently, they have been doing this all this time. So, those were the most important Iran-related video statements that President Trump made. Let's go the 3 remaining truth socials. Let's start with this one. Okay. President Trump said Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and Air Force, doesn't even exist anymore. So this is not new. Then he continues by saying, they have been completely defeated. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. All caps for dead. They've taken this is the new part. This is the new part, okay? By the way, guys, if you have disagreements with how President Trump is describing this, it doesn't matter. It's messing with the Islamic Republic head. Don't get so picky about, well, they're not actually dead. They're not this. It doesn't matter. But this is the new part. Saying they've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they will have to pay the price. President Donald J. Trump. Next statement. The fake news media refuses to report how effective the U.S. naval blockade is. The most successful blockade in history of naval warfare. Nothing gets through unless we want it to. It is a steel wall, all caps. Iran is doing zero business, zero being all caps, not paying their military or any of their bills, and quickly becoming a failed nation, all caps. Some Iranians were saying they preferred if he said failed state rather than failed nation. Failed nation, all caps. Lots of oil is getting out. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. So that was the second one. And then the last one here saying, last month I directed our great U.S. military to execute a secret mission to support oil tankers and other commercial ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Today I am pleased to announce that this effort has resulted in more than 100 million, all in all caps, barrels of oil making its way through the strait and into the open market. More than 200 commercial ships have safely traveled through the strait. This widely successful effort is because the United States of America controls, all of that in caps, the Strait of Hormuz, not Iran. Every time I shout this, all caps. Their military is defeated and their economy is lost. It's over. It's over for Iran. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So I have a lot to say about this, but I'm not gonna because I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have do we have twos in the chats? Put some twos in the chat, and we also have two super chats.
We have some.
Okay.
Would you like to read the super chats and let the people put their twos in?
Well, because it's relevant, I'm going to read the super chats. Amir is saying, "I'll watch from here, sending love to the amazing school community." Thank you, Amir. Love having you either if you're in school, if you're in YouTube. We love you either way, and thank you for always supporting us. And then Sammy with a super chat saying, "Praise be to Ali." Oh, Ali. I thought it's Allah. It's Ali. Which Ali? Imam Ali or our Ali? Our Ali, I'm assuming. Yeah, guys. How long before President Trump comes out and says, "Hater, hater, hater, hater"? Like, are we gonna get that? At some point, we might get that. I don't know. We'll see. At least we're gonna get at least a Ya Ali at some point. No, we'll see. Okay, let's go with the twos.
All right. First to reply on this topic, we have Jeff.
Again, there's reasons why a lot of guys in the know are like, stop listening to the mainstream media that's very biased. There's things going on at the institutional level. The other part is the strikes we did, and I'll go through this through my general sit rep. It wasn't just like a retaliatory strike. It's the nature of what we took out. Right? We hit Kesem, we hit air defense radar, basically SEAD, right? Suppression of enemy air defense, which means the door is now open, like we took off the panties and we're getting ready to impregnate what's left of the regime with red, white, and blue cum bombs of unbelievability. That's what that means. They should have never struck one of our personnel. They should have like just taken the deal, truly.
All right. That was graphic yet colorful. Next up, we have Noah.
Oh my gosh, Jeffrey. So I am amazed that President Trump announced the 200 ships that they were able to, get by. And I think it's just masterful what President Trump is doing. He is definitely playing 5D chess against the regime, and it is showing. I think the way the strikes are going so far, I think we're going to see more tonight, and hopefully this ceasefire ends soon and needs to end.
How massive do you think the response, the attacks are going to be tonight? Like, how big do you think they're going to be?
I don't know. I hope it's a lot, but you never could tell at this point. So I'll just say medium for right now. If they're massive, I'll be glad I'm wrong.
Okay. I would love
All right.
other people who have twos in the chat. I would also love to hear if you have any predictions.
All right. Next on this topic, Danny. Love hearing from Danny. Danny, go ahead.
Thank
Yay.
you. I just want to say I don't appreciate Trump invoking Allah's name in vain, because the last two times we're in the middle of actively bombing everything. But I agree with Noah. Maybe we're going to get massive attacks today, and it will not have been in vain.
These are very good points.
Yes. Don't say Allah's name in vain. That's good. Oh,
You're going to say his name. You better bomb something.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have Shauna. Shauna, go ahead, please.
Can you guys hear me? I'm on my phone.
Yes.
Yeah, I know there's background noise. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. I feel anxious and concerned about not our military prowess, our military abilities, but that we are going to lose the political battle, because I feel like Trump wants to get this all wrapped up by August, and I think the IRGC, so I don't trigger Danny, that I'm concerned that he will not be able to do that, and that this war. I mean, I can't. I guess when I was listening to political analysis outside of this group, people are saying that this is probably a 1 to 2 year project, a minimum, and that Trump can't afford that politically, and then America might do what it has done historically, which is that we win the battle in a military. I mean, like, people can't beat us militarily, but they can drag us down politically. And I guess I'm just feeling anxious about that. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts about that. That was my thought about this. Is I'm just worried about the political battle, even if we win.
All right.
Quick response to that. As I think, if President Trump manages to get some control over the affordability issue, whatever narratives people have regarding whether the United States are winning or losing will have less of an impact. So I think if we could see, I mean, the job numbers are freaking amazing in the United States right now. I don't know if you could translate that into votes. Probably not as much as inflation, but that's where the battle is, I think. But yeah. Okay.
All right. I'd like to be the last response on this. My comment on this: you can't say if we're going to do something, we should bomb and go, and also say if we're going to do something, we got to bomb and stay, right? If this is a 2-year project, it's a 2-year project for whatever is the next government. Trump just said this is a failed state. Like, there are, kind of signals going down. Like, this is not some people that can be dealt with. What I suspect is going to happen is there's going to be a larger bombing campaign. After that, they were to be declared a failed state. An outside government will be named, or an inside government, but a transitional one. Maybe they fly Prince Reza in, then it's no longer an outside government because he's in there, right? And that we can be more hands off, because there will be other elements in there taking care of it. Of course, it's a 2-year project. You won't be able to have a stable elections in a year or two. This is something Prince Reza has said. This is something that has been established. So we always knew that stability was going to be a long-term issue. And politically, of course, we're not gonna stay. We do have to go. If it happens before or after the elections, would be kind of like the problem. But I'd like to remind people, we have at least until November, right? I would say September, because you want to be able to show your gains 2 months before the election, so you can build on them and pound them in for 2 months. Say, hey, we won. They're stable. They got a transitional government. Oil prices are down. We have deals for their rare earth minerals and their oil, and we have it in South America, and we have it all over South America and Venezuela. So you want to have those gains by September, because that gives you 2 months to hammer in the wins, right? So just because it hasn't happened in July, June, I wouldn't put it like we can't. Everything is politically gonna fall apart if we don't end this now. I would say we have until September to get this nice and tidy. Nice and tidy is the inside government's already been declared out. It's already been declared like we can't deal with these people, and we have a lot of people like NATO and people like that agree that we just can't deal with these people. Too many layers are gone. That would be my thoughts on that. And for that, you have to have that done by September. That would be my estimate. That's my, and with that we can move to another topic. Response from Armin or any super chat.
So I have actually, I put a 2, and then after that, Jeffrey also put a 2. But and after that we have 1 super chat. So one thing I want to point out, like, if for people who haven't been following the news, obviously, all of this is partly a response, not just to the deal not being made, and the Islamic Republic trying to buy time and basically mess with President Trump. It's also about the helicopter. I don't know if you guys saw, the helicopter that was struck by the Islamic Republic drone um, hit the helicopter right in between the two pilots, right in between them. Right, so that was really lucky, um, or divine intervention for believers here, or Allah's intervention, given that we're praising Him. Right, who knows? So it basically hit right between the two pilots, not hitting that. That was very lucky, or yeah, whatever. But that wasn't just it. It also didn't explode. So if it was just a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, one of the pilots would have died, and miraculously, it didn't explode. So that's why the two pilots are alive. So here's the thing: the Islamic Republic, the I've been following the Islamic Republic followers and their comments on this, and originally they were so happy. They're like, "Oh my God, we took out a helicopter! Look at us! Look what we can do! Let's go! Hey there!" Right? So that was originally the response, but then they took half an hour into it. They were like, "Wait a minute, no, this is bad, right? They're gonna come for us." So all of a sudden, the narrative switched, and they were like, wait, our drones can't do that, right? Right. This is a moving target. Our drones can't hit a moving target like that. This is the Jews. It's the Jews. The Jews attacked the Americans. The Jews. This is Israel. So this is the narrative from the followers of the Islamic Republic fans inside Iran. They're saying that Israel realized that President Trump is basically ending this war. And originally, they tried to drag they managed to fool President Trump. They dragged him into a war that is unwinnable by United States because this is Israel's war, not United States war. And President Trump fell for it. Other president of United States were smarter than President Trump. They realized that Israel is trying to get United States to fight its battles. But Trump is not as smart as the other presidents. And Netanyahu managed to trick him into dragging him into a war with Iran that is unwinnable. And President Trump has now finally realized that, and he's trying to get out. And he's trying to stop Israel, and he's also trying to get out. But Israel is, as the Jews are always scheming, and they always have their scheming ways. Ooh, yeah, exactly. And they know how to keep the United States involved. So they went and they're like, oh, is that how it is? You want to leave? We're not going to let you leave. So they attacked a US helicopter, taking it down, pretending that was the Islamic Republic. So United States has to respond now. And so that they could keep this war going. And also for them to be allowed to keep attacking the Islamic Republic. So that's the new narrative. They're saying it wasn't us. At first, they were trying to take credit for it. And now they're saying it's interesting because the very same people that used to say, like, we are powerful, we have the best drones, we have this really able military equipment and everything. Now they're saying our drones actually suck and it cannot do that, right? So like what just happened is not something that we could do. So they're saying it must have been an Israeli drone, not an Islamic Republic drone, which is interesting. This is the new net. This is the and also the official. This is just the Islamic Republic followers and analysts who are saying that, but the official narrative from the government is now that we didn't do this. So the government is also coming out and saying this was not us. Like we didn't take attack any helicopters. I'm actually interested if anybody knows because I know like, does the Islamic Republic have other drones that could target a moving? I mean, some people are saying like this couldn't have been an Israeli drone, because it didn't explode, and Israeli drones work. All right. And some other people, well, the response to that probably will be like, of course it didn't explode. They wouldn't let it explode because if American soldiers actually died and this was discovered, then it would be really bad for Israel. So they just wanted to hurt United States enough to drag them into a war, but not to be the consequences for Israel to be too high. So that's the narratives that they're going. But obviously, this is all bullshit. Obviously, whatever these people say is bullshit. But I do want to know because I think it's true that a Shahed drone cannot take out a moving helicopter. Did they get lucky or did they have more advanced drones that is not Shahed? So I want to know. I have no idea, so I would like to hear if anybody has any information about that. But yeah, let's continue. Let's see who wants to respond.
Okay, next we have Jeff. I would like to add that you could also change the targeting chips. If you get better chips from China, you could get better targeting on that type of drone.
Ooh,
Go ahead, Jeff.
interesting.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to mention. Competitive adaptation, things evolve. So taking down the regime can be done within 3 to 8 weeks if they do the two things I talked about, 5x5 and grabbing all the Dark Sea Fleet tankers. That's a very high probability. Stabilizing the country, I mean, it's like the regime is done. They can't threaten shit. Straits open. Like all the regime douchebags have been obliterated. All the leadership is dead. Yada yada yada. We grab all the tankers, so that means like, you know, $9 to $15 billion worth of yummy oil monies. And then you have like the ability to have a transitionary government where you have a fully function where you get rid of all the regime remnants and all the little douchebags. Yeah, I mean, President Trump's not wrong, right? 2 years. You're thinking about 87 weeks for 20,000 very highly trained anti-terror, like counter and anti-terrorism and anti-death squad insurgency personnel and eight manhunter killer teams. And then they'd be able to flesh out like all the regime, like the besieging IRGC remnants, whatever's left very quickly. Then you have Neo Savak, so you don't have to worry about any of that, right? You have something there to protect Iranian people, so you don't have to worry about insecurity flows from Putin's criminalized counterintelligence state, Chinese Communist Party, North Korean regime, elements out of Pakistan. The list goes on and on, all the dickheads, right? So as far as having, drones strike things, I'm going to reiterate again that one of the core themes I try to impress upon people, which is competitive adaptation, right? We evolve, our enemies evolve. Ukraine just created like fully autonomous drones for like between 15 and $100 just as an upgrade with very, very primitive level chips. So it's not like bad guys don't watch that. I mean, bad guys look at things too. They're MOIS probably almost assuredly monitoring this channel right here, right? So just like we have our guys monitoring their shit, they also have their guys monitoring our stuff. So yeah, could they have a drone that is able to do dynamic targeting on the fly? Sure, absolutely. I mean, Chi-Coms could give them things like that, just like that. Putin would do it just like that. Pick anything, right? Elements out of Pakistan, sure.
Great to know. Thank you, Jeffrey. By the way, Jeffrey, we're so lucky to have you. Just have all of this military information just available every time we need it. Just like, and you making your time available to us. Like, we're so lucky to have that available. So just want to mention how appreciative we are. I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone here. So thank you.
Yeah,
I
I
do-
just
I do
quickly
love
say
it.
you're welcome, and I very much appreciate it. Love you, and more importantly, love Iranian resistance.
Thank
When the Sons of Liberty are harmed anywhere, Armin, it's felt by the Sons of Liberty everywhere.
Thank you.
All right. For my part right now, I am giving Jeff a digital hug right now. You feel it a little bit? Oh, there you go. I would also like to add that I have spoken on this very many times, but this has helped get those hostage ships with thousands of hostage ships in the strait. And all this time that these ceasefire, it may be politically costly, but the long-term benefits of rescuing all those ships will be political capital that can be gained from later. Just having a little bit of a long view on what these operations will mean in the long run. And next on this topics, we have Shauna. Go ahead, Shauna.
I want to say on the drones, I don't have any idea who did the drone attack on our Apache, but I'm 99% sure it was not Israel. I'll say 1%.
Wow.
Because whatever shit happens, weird things are weird sometimes. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Iranians don't. Which, by the way, Also, I know the IRGC are a bunch of psychopaths, but they're not. And I know we like to just call them Durkas, but they're not actually literally retarded. These are engineers and smart people and doctors. Unfortunately, we're fighting a bunch of Iranians, which means they're not all idiots. A lot of the Durkas are really intelligent. They're psychotic, their worldview is fucked, but they're not stupid. So I actually do think that they would have the capacity to build something like that. Absolutely. But if they don't, say hypothetically, I'm wrong about that. The Russians could have figured that out how to do that too, because they could have snatched up some Ukrainian stuff, just kind of like what Jeffrey was talking about, just maybe in more detail. But yeah, I don't think it was the Israelis though. I think it was probably the Russians or the Iranians.
All right. And I believe they could definitely help a lot because they could be the ones that are bringing in some of those chips, helping with the targeting. So I would like to agree with the Russians or the Chinese helping out there. And next we have Dom.
Well, helping out, yeah. I don't know if I don't think the Russians want to piss off the Israelis. I mean, they have pissed off the Israelis, to be fair. But they do give drone components to them. I don't. And Israelis give missile components to the Islamic Republic. Russians give drone components to the Islamic Republic. Well, not Russians. Putin and his, yeah, and whoever
KGB cartel.
KGB cartel. There you go.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.